This is Casandra Bollinger for Work It Wednesday. We have one more week or 9 days left of the month of March. We've started a new catalog, so we have the spring catalog that has been released. There's so much stuff going on. We've already had quite a few releases this month. And some of the questions that I'm getting are, what do I do? Like, how do I start, or how do I restart my business? The aspect of starting may feel very daunting. It may be scary to be like, if you don't know what to do, then you don't know what you're supposed to do, or what you should do, or what you could do. These trainings on Wednesday nights are basically different avenues of maybe different avenues is not the right word. They're different aspects of our business, broken down in smaller portions to help get your business moving. Does it mean that you need to do it the exact same way I do? No. My personality is a lot different than yours. My background is different than yours. These are basically helpful hints of what I do in my business, what works for me, and you take it and you tweak it. You find the ways that work for you, the time that you have available, the customer base that you have available. Finding new customers is always a struggle for any consultant, but finding new customers for you will be different than finding new customers for me. Where I'm located at, I am in a small town, but that's not my excuse. I work from home majority of the time. I'm now a substitute at the high school. So I end up spending a lot of time at the high school level. So I'm normally around a lot of kids, but I have been spending my time and taking time to talk to other teachers during lunch. We only have 4-minute passing periods, so it's not really an easy way to bring up what I do outside of subbing in between passing periods with the teachers surrounding me. But I get there early, I stay late. That's just the aspect of how my day goes on the days that I'm subbing. The other days I'm at home, and then I spend most of my time messaging potential customers, potential teamies. That's just kind of what I do. But our business is ran the way it works best for us. So your business may look a little bit different. So one of the first things that I do when I have a brand new consultant is I have them do a list of 100. Now, I always give an acronym, and it's called Franks, and it's F is for friends, R is for relatives, A is for acquaintances, N is for neighbors, 5 is for kids, and 6, or the S, is for like spouse or sports. If you have a spouse or a significant other, people you know through them, or if your kids are like in sports or an activity, people you know from there. Now, this is not necessarily to hound at them, buy Scentsy, buy Scentsy, buy Scentsy. That is not the reason for the list. When you first make your list of going through potential people, it is a barrel of names to help you with your business. It doesn't mean that they need to buy from you, doesn't mean that they need to do a party for you. They may be the person that is going to refer you, or refer you to their friends or their group of friends. When you start with that list and you actually write down people's names and you put them on paper or you see them, there are people you know from there. So the list itself is supposed to show you that you know more people than you may think. I have a lot of new teamies that come in that say, I have no friends. I don't know anybody. But then I look at their Facebook or I look at their Instagram and they have like 600 people that are their friends. Those are people that you can utilize and you can ask a favor. When I started with my list, I actually went through my phone first before I started writing anything down. So the people that were in my phone, that I had their phone numbers to, were the ones that I texted and called, letting them know that I had started a new business. A lot of them were very receptive and they're like, that is so awesome. And I was like, here's my website. Let me know what you think. If you'd like to place an order, I'm doing a bulk order that is going to be placed on X day. It was about my 15th day. So that was my first message to them. Now, that list of 100 for me has changed quite a bit in the last 3 years. Now it's a lot of the people that were on my original list are on this team, or have been on this team at one point. So that list will start to modify. Now, if I have a great example is if I was selling to one of my customers and they joined their little, I guess, branch, or if you want to look at it as a tree, their branch kind of gets cut off from me because those are their people. One a really great example is on one of our teamies is Jessica, because her mother-in-law was purchasing for me. So when Jessica signed up, I kept telling her, I was like, you have no idea what you're missing out. When she signed up, she realized what I was talking about. But I made sure that she knew that her mother-in-law was buying from me and kind of the quantity that she was doing. And then that way Jessica could pick up where I left off with her signing up. So I wouldn't keep trying to, I guess poach is the best way. I wouldn't keep trying to go after her mother-in-law because technically that was her person that she brought to me as a referral when I started with Scentsy. That goes wide through my entire VIP group. There's a lot of people that have signed up that their relatives or best friends are in my VIP. They may have signed up. Some of them may still be buying from me. Others may be there because I'm more active on what kind of showing the different things that are available. And they kind of know from me, and then they go back to their consultant and they're like, hey, I saw this. I want to buy this. So that list of 100 will constantly change. That list of 100 will start to multiply. There'll be some people that fall off. There'll be some people that you gain from there. And it's supposed to be an ever evolving group of people. Now, when you say list of 100, it does not mean that you have to have exactly 100. It doesn't mean that you need to start with 100. It means that you need to increase to 100. There's a lot of different SSDs or different leaders through our Scentsy or our Scentsy society that they'll break it down and say, you know, write down 10 names every day. Out of those 10 names, try to think of 10 more people from them before you move on. Some of them will say 5. There's a way that the list of 100 isn't daunting. But if it's for someone who is trying to restart their business, like they've started it, but they haven't ever quite did anything with their business, they feel no one's buying from me, no one was able to purchase an order, so I'm not going to use those people. Well, that's when you start doing the, will you do me a favor? You can ask your people, your family, your friends, the ones that are closest to you, if you know that you're not asking them to buy. You're asking if you can post something on their page and tag them, or if they will post something and tag you. Asking that kind of favor shouldn't be a big deal. I can honestly say with some of my, how's the easiest way to say it? With some people that I thought were friends were not friends because they really got upset. Why would you even ask me to support you? Well, as a friend, having a friendship, supporting what people do, as long as it's not illegal, like I'm not trying to sell drugs here. I will have to say, Scentsy is kind of like one of that crack thing that's amazing. Sorry. Okay, beside the point. But when you have people that refuse to support you for whatever reason, I looked at it as of I've supported them in XYZ. Like I supported them when I knew they wouldn't follow through. For them to say that I'm not going to follow through and for them not to support me was kind of a realization on my friendship. It really was. Now, the other ones that were like, no, I don't want to put that. I don't want to pressure my friends to order from you. Totally understand. It's not about pressure. It should be something that is easily given. But if someone flat out refuses and the reason why is because why should I? Well, I thought we were friends. That was kind of my basis behind asking you for a favor was to help me out. Another thing to look at on your business is that there's only so far that you can reach without doing parties. In the beginning in 2020, parties were not a thing to do. It was all online. You were lucky to get interaction because everything is shut down and everybody lost that community. And so people were doing a lot more parties than they are now. I did a couple of Facebook parties that I wasn't successful with. It's never been like, I guess the easiest way for me to say is I don't like going to Facebook parties. And so it's hard for me to run one because I know the dread that I have from not wanting to go. With that, I have had to really find my niche of what did I like to do. When I don't really ask for parties. I ask people to do shopping links and I ask people to do a stop and shop link. I have worked different ways with a scrolling party through Canva. Basically, it's a landing page that it has some of the highlights of each one of the products or each one of the categories that we sell. And then when they click on something, it takes them to my website. Now, going through it as someone on the outside, I had someone ask me, well, if you have this landing page and it's taking them to your website, why are you doing all the work? And that was a really good question. So I have had someone send me a different type of landing page, which I will be starting as of now for anybody who wants to do an online shopping. It allows me to get contact information from the people that maybe aren't ready to order right now. When they send something, so let's go back to the beginning. If I have someone who is wanting to do a shopping link, they're like, yes, I want to accumulate rewards. I want to be able to utilize those. I'm just going to send out the link to my friends. If I do the landing page and they see it, they go on it, but they never purchase, I don't know who they are. I don't have a way to follow up with them. If you're doing a Facebook party, at least you have that group of people that have selected accept on the invite, they're in the group, and you have kind of a pool of people to at least message, talk to about maybe running their own party. But when it's all a virtual group that I'm not sending it out personally, you lose that connection. So I did find a solution today. It's basically taking a landing page. It has a link that will go to their party on my my website for them to be able to order, and it goes underneath that person. But the other part is basically starting to reactivate my jot forms. The jot forms that I had before they worked, and I just kind of got away from them. And I guess it takes that moment of what can I do to get back to where I was at, and going back through the list of stuff that I was doing. The jot form is basically like a Google's Doc. So if you use one or the other, they're very similar. They are free. I believe you can have so many active at one time on jot form. I think it's 5. I was never big on Google Docs, but it's the same process. You get so many free before you have to pay for multiples. There is a way that you can ask the information that you want to know. If you are really big on emails, then you can ask for their email address. If you want to know what their Instagram or Facebook handle is, if you want to know their address, you can offer to ship something out to them, kind of like a party pack. That way you get their information and you already have the communication open about Scentsy. So that's going to be something that I guess I'm relaunching back out in my business. So as I go through in the next couple of months, I will give you guys updates on how that's going. If that's something you have tried before or something you're wanting to try again, let me know and I can do a training solely on Jotform. I guess it's been a while since I've done some trainings on some of the apps that I've used. But just getting back to the basics of how do you run your business? That's kind of where I've been at since last year at SFR. When I got home, because it was overwhelming, it was amazing, but there was so much information. And the best thing I can say, if you have signed up for SFR, is you want to write stuff down and then go back and look at what was important. It's very hard to write down every single thing that every single leader says. It's kind of hard because then you're not paying attention to everything they're saying. You're just trying to write it down. So maybe you're not absorbing it all. The best suggestion is you kind of listen to them and then write a summary of what they stated and then write an aha moment that of something you want to try after you get back. That's going to be my best suggestion. Now, is that always going to work? No. If you have room on your camera, then you can set up a tripod and record the whole thing so you can go back later and actually go through and find the points that you like. But SFR, because I got so much information, I changed so much about my business. When I started in 2020, it was a post and pray. It was really easy for me to put up a post of a new warmer or something releasing and me getting 5, 6 messages or 6 or 7 people that were wanting to order and sending me private messages and wanting to know if they can come pick it up, ship it, all that stuff. It was very easy. So my business was very easy to run because it was a post and pray. And I'll tell you what, prayers were answered every single day. Orders were coming in for me every single day. Now that people are back to work and they're not at home as much and they're not on social media all day long and they're not constantly just ordering all online. Now, there's still a lot of people that order online, guys, a lot. I've had to tweak my business. I've had to tweak my VIP page. Everything about our business is you have to be flexible. You have to learn to pivot when a situation comes up or when, I guess, everything changes. The algorithms through Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and all of the other apps, when they change, we all have to pivot whether we know it or not. The last update to Facebook a couple of months ago changed all of the group settings to where nobody was getting notifications unless they went back in and changed the notifications. The reason why is because the admins used to have full access to what they saw. They could turn on everybody's notifications for all of it. I didn't realize that. If I had known it, I probably would have utilized it. But that is why there was a change in that. So when you have low visibility in your VIP, talk to your people, go live, tell them to turn on the notifications so that way they don't miss anything. They can turn it to where they only get highlights. They can turn it to where they see everything. That way your customer knows that they can adjust it in any which way that they need to. Not only did I change my VIP group, I changed my follow-up system. My follow-up system changed from just going through the workstation, going through histories and writing stuff down. I started a spreadsheet. That way I can take smaller information, broken down, put it in a spreadsheet, sort it by the person's name, and I can see how many times one person has ordered, in which month they've ordered, and how often they do it just by a quick glance. The spreadsheets in Excel, that's what I worked with when I worked in a corporate world. So I'm very comfortable with loading that up. And for me, it's real easy. After I just kind of like copy and paste everything from the workstation into an Excel spreadsheet. That's my monthly, or the last 2-3 weeks. And the form looks like this. It just has their name, the amount, the date. And I also put the order number, only because in case I need to know, wow, is it really a $200 order? I can just type in the order number without having to search their name, search for the date. I can just put the order number in and go straight to it. I also have 2 other columns on the side that says packaged and mailed. This is for me just to make sure, okay, I packaged it. What date did I mail it? Because if I know I mailed it on March 8th, I know I need to start checking back with all of my customers like March 12th, 11th, 12th, just to make sure everybody got what came in the mail. So my follow-up system changed completely. I started at the beginning of catalog season for fall and winter. We had 7 months of that because they've changed the dates. I started into my spring and summer. I can kind of see off of my customers' consistency through fall and winter, that I can kind of tell how often they're ordering. The other part is that some of my people are spring and summer people. Like, they love spring and summer. They love the scents. They love the florals. They love the sweet and the bakeries. So they shine through this season. They don't shine very much through fall and winter because they're not real big on the spice and the pumpkins and the apple. That's just my customers. And you will start to see a trend the longer that you're in Scentsy of what your customers are getting. What are they buying? And then they will start to kind of emulate you. If you're really big on fruity scents and you talk about the fruity scents all the time, you're more likely to get a customer who prefers fruity scents over someone who prefers the fresh scents. because you're going to talk about what you love more than you talk about other things that you might use. I have to watch myself because I talk a lot about warmers and wax because I use a lot of wax and I have a lot of warmers that we have um, other products in different lines. So I have to remind myself, oh my gosh, I haven't shown people that I've done my laundry. Like I do my laundry once a week. And I need to show that more often. And I forget because I start the little laundry, walk away, and I'm like, oh, I didn't record it. For me, I've been trying to be very intentional about my reels. I take little videos and I put them together for the reel, and those same videos I can use on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, um, and even on YouTube if it's long enough. Then I can just take those same videos, put them together, take out the volume, and just put a music behind it, or leave the volume going on. Make sure I don't huff and puff because there are some times when I'm cleaning that I can hear myself breathing. That's why I normally take the volume out so they don't hear me scrubbing and huffing. But anyways, but those are the things that it brings me joy. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy working with the reels. And so I've implemented that into my business. I also implement it for our food. If I'm doing a meal that I love and I've done like chili, now I do it different than a lot of people because I put beans in my chili because that's the way I was raised. That's what I was raised around. So beans go into chili. My brother, who was raised in the same household I was, tells me beans are not included in chili, and that means it's a beef stew if I add beans to it. Never heard that. It tastes like chili with beans. So I try to make sure it's not just Scentsy. I show the different things that I love. Like my daughter does archery. And when she's at a competition, I take videos and pictures of that and I put it into a reel. So your business starting out is going to look very different after the first month, after 6 months, after a year, after 3 years, 5 years. It's one of those things that you need to stop and do a self-evaluation after you hit a certain point of what is working, what is not working, what needs to be tweaked. Like, oh, it worked for a while, but now it's not working. What do I need to kind of pivot to see where I can increase sales or increase customer satisfaction or increase new customers or new teamies? Again, this is just kind of like, what do you do to get your business moving? And honestly, you need to find what brings you joy first. I love going live. I enjoy doing it in my Facebook group. I've done it more on my personal page. I always forget about my business page, so I just share it from my personal to my business. But I do a lot of videos here at home. I just record the videos and I upload them to YouTube or upload them to my reels. And that way, technically, it's not going live. It's just so that way I can edit down. I can stop if I've messed up. But it brings me joy. I don't always look the greatest, but I try to show myself. Like today, my face is a little bit redder because I didn't put a lot of makeup on today. Actually, I don't even know if I washed my face today, but I do have the days that I may not feel my best, and I will still try and do a reel just to show that it's not always about how you look, it's about how you feel. There's some days that even if I have makeup on, I'm not feeling it. Like I will try and I will struggle and I cannot even get my words out. Any of y'all that have watched any of my trainings, you know that sometimes I struggle with words and I just have to keep pushing through because sooner or later the words will start to flow and then will start to sound more like their purpose. So that's just kind of the things that I've tried with my business, the things that I am working on my business, and also things that I've learned to tweak. And doing a self-evaluation on your business quarterly or even every 6 months. I've been doing it basically about the beginning of a catalog season. I kind of do a mental check-in of what worked well in the last catalog season, what I want to try, and then I kind of do a halfway mark. So if we start in March, that's March, April, May. So at the end of May, first part of June, I'll probably do another reevaluation of everything I'm doing to see if it's working towards what my goal is. And then after that, at the end of the catalog season, I'll go back and be like, was that halfway mark a good checkpoint? Was giving myself 3 months enough? Did I need to wait for 6 months? Did I need to try it for another 6 months? Guys, there's things that I've started back in August that I'm still tweaking every single month going through just because it's working, but it's maybe not working as efficient as I want it to. But I always try to have goals. Like one of my major goals is to get back to where I was doing 2,000 a month in sales easily. I mean, because I was doing it like 3 to 4, I think 4,800 was my biggest month ever. And it kind of dropped off because I was still trying to do the post and pray and my PRV wasn't coming. But again, I didn't do a lot of parties because when I started, parties were not, they were all Facebook parties, and I'm not very good at those. So I am doing more parties. They're just my type of parties. So that is something that I've implemented since the first part of March. So that I'm working with. And I finally become more comfortable when someone tells me no, of me using and pivoting, of using what I have available. You know, I ask them the uncomfortable questions. Whenever they're like, no, I'm not interested, I'm like, that's okay. Just know that I'm always available if you ever have any questions. If they're like, not right now, I don't have the money, I always say, well, do you want to try to earn it for free? That's kind of like my first follow-up. And if they ask to order anything, hey, do you mind placing an order for me? I just want 1 bar of wax. I always tell them what the bundles are, what the availability is. If I know that they don't have any warmers that they purchased from me, then I always offer to do their bundle and save with the warmer and the 3 waxes. That's just kind of like I've become more fluent with following, I guess, responding back to customers that tell me no. The other thing is I've been trying to make sure that I'm making sure that they have everything that they need. If they're buying from me 6 bars of wax, I always ask if they want cotton cleanups or light bulbs. Like it's kind of like, do you want fries with that? Or do you want, would you like dessert or would you like coffee? That is something as a customer service wise that I always offered whenever I worked in restaurants was that, would you like any dessert today? And that's the mindset you have to be in. You're offering a service. If they tell you no, that's okay. But you're still going to offer it next time because it only takes that one time for them to be like, yeah, that you get that, yay. If you hadn't asked, they may not have known to ask. So yes, I always offer cotton cleanups, and I always offer to bundle like the waxes in 3s or 6s. But I always tell them 1 bar is $6, 3 bars is $17, and if you buy 5, you'll get them 1 free for $30. That's exactly how I word it anytime that they ask about waxes. That way they at least know that the bundle and saves are by 3s or 6s. Any of our products are by 3s or 6s, and then we have other bundles that are the same category that have different products. That's kind of like our classic clean and our laundry love and our moisture medley. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you guys got great content out of this. Please let me know if you have any questions. If you come across any one of my videos and you have a question, just comment. I will always respond to everybody. Please make sure that you like, share, and follow my YouTube channel. Again, I am Cassie Bollinger. This is Work It Wednesday. It is March 22nd. We have 9 more days of the month. I hope to talk to each one of you soon. I love you all, and I hope you have a great night.
Thank you.